So this is a video that has been needed to be made for like a while now. I feel like there needs to be a recap before I get into the meat and bones of it, really. I don't have the exact date off the top of my head, but I think if we're guessing month and year, I think of either June or July of 2021, a friend of mine invites me to this Discord server, and at the time it was called the Nene Babies. I was very, very hesitant to join because it was, of course, Discord. I was a very judgmental person back then, and anyone associated with like Reddit or Discord, I reasonably did not, trust because of all those weird stuff that I've heard about. But I do join anyway, just to see, what would happen. My main reason for joining is because, my friend really convinced me to, and I did not have that many friends. At most, I had like 2 at the time. And really, if I did not join the server, I would most likely not make any other friends. So I joined. There's a lot of people. Some people I really can't name because they aren't really associated with both this channel and just aren't associated at all. But in total, there was around, I think, 13 people. 12 if you don't include me. I'm pretty certain the server that I joined existed at least 8 months before I joined. So a lot of stuff has already happened. Everyone has their own bonds and their own relationships, which I thought was weird because they were legit like dating, like legit across states. But that's also where I learned to be less judgmental about relationships. A lot of things go down, lots of drama that I don't know how it was roped into. I did instigate quite a few, I will say. But overall, at least a good 1/3 of people split and go into different servers. It was also 2021, so it had that drama. But we started getting on VR chat. I actually met a specific group of people on Rec Room first, and that was very fun. That's when I just played on my phone. And they would ask me if I could get a VR headset for like Christmas or something. And I do eventually get it, and I do play, and I do have a blast. And I do play with them. I play games like Rec Room and VR chat. And every time I would get on, I would just have a very, very good time with everyone that was around me. And while playing, I get not ideas, but I get like reminded of old YouTube channels I used to watch. Mainly, well, not old, oh god, I hope they're not old, like Josh Dub mainly, with like their like VR shenanigans stuff. And I'm pretty certain it was more so Cappy's idea, but I was more so the one who like went pedal to the metal with the idea of a very specific group of people of us starting a YouTube channel just for the hell of it. I recorded it, and the problem being when I tried to export it, I realized you had to have your mic, you had to physically press a button to turn on your mic when recording to hear yourself and others. So that video never got made, but that specific thing has always been stuck in my head of what could have been our first video, but was not. And in the middle of like making that, making quote unquote, I mentioned it to Cappy, and they didn't really care because it was just going to be a shitty Rec Room video. But then they realized that we didn't have like an editor. Now, I very quickly like raised my hand like a eager student to answer a question, because I have had previous experience, very big on quotations on experience, because it's like participation more so really, of editing, because of my old gacha days. That is like floating around somewhere in the void. This probably could be found. But yeah, so I know how like, of course, how frames and cutting worked. That's pretty much all the experience I had from gacha, but that's really all I needed to know, because most of my, I don't want to say editing style, but that's basically what it is. Most of my editing style came from Venturian Tale, Vanoss Gaming, and Josh Dub. And the weird-ass animation, like PNG animation things, I don't know where it came from. The best thing I could guess was from that George Bush propaganda stuff. That is the only thing that comes to my mind of where I could have gotten that idea. It was probably from Uncle Grandpa, actually, now that I think about it. It was probably from the tiger, from how it moved. That's probably where I got that idea from. But anyway, we make our first video. It's the Among Us video. That has aged, like, actually horribly for, like, everyone. Not, like, controversies, because I don't think there's any in there. But just, like, as a general embarrassment kind. And it was a very cool video. You know, it's just very, very old. And it is a benchmark for us. But right after we made that video, we didn't, like, post anything for 3 months. And I think there wasn't a reason for that. I think we just didn't record or get on. That also explains, like, the intro thing for our next video, which was, like, 3 months later. Explaining, oh, we're going to have a schedule. And that was just a blatant lie. I don't know why we tried to make a schedule. That was arguably, like, one of the dumbest things that we've done. Because, like, even with Josh Dub, they still didn't even, like, have a schedule. So I don't know why we did that. I think it was because SMG4 had a schedule at the time, and that's what I was trying to do. And that went horribly. But we did relatively well for, like, 5 videos. And, you know, there was some odd stuff going on between everyone that I will not throw shade at. We weren't, like, I don't want to say streaming. We weren't posting to, like, the fucking millions of, like, people, obviously. But it was just a nice thing to post. And it was just a nice thing to get attention and a couple comments from. Just to see what people thought. Most of them weren't really negative. Well, except with our most popular one. But I'll get into that in a minute. We do pretty well on our uploads. And they're relatively funny. I really like the FNAF 2 and Judge one. That one's my personal favorite out of all of them. And, you know, we occasionally get more people on. And, you know, it makes the videos more interesting. And another key component I forgot to mention about this whole channel is that it's going to be a crazy ass bomb drop, but it really did help me through my parents' divorce when, you know, we started it. Because during, like, our Among Us video, if you couldn't tell through the shitty ass quality of my Quest mic, I was in my Grandma's bathroom recording it because I could not find anywhere else to go because my room was being, like, not stripped. That's not the word. They were adding stuff into the room and, you know, I couldn't be in there. And, you know, I was being too loud and I got yelled at. That part I had to cut out, obviously. But things like that do make me remember things about this specific channel. Gonna skip ahead by... Actually, we're gonna bring up the Hazbin Hotel thing. I mean, not Hazbin Hotel, Hell of a Boss thing. So, right after our... I don't remember what it was called, like, interview. It was a VR chat world, I don't remember. On TikTok... Was it TikTok? I think I was using YouTube Shorts at the time. I see, you know, some people doing some dubs of stuff, and so does Cappy. And so then we both get the idea of, hey, what if we all just redub, you know, just the Hell of a Boss pilot. Very much inspired by, like, Abridge, and is it Abridge or iBridge? Whatever. And, you know, we saw that and went, why don't we do that? We can be funny and redub stuff. And so then everyone gathers around, like it's singing around the campfire. Everyone records their own shit. And they all send it to I think it was me that edited this one. Yeah, I think it was. Because I remember Cappy edited another one, which I'll get into. And yeah, it is Cappy that I think edited like the second one. But anyway, I edited this one and we post it. It does unreasonably fucking well. I think it was because it may have released like as soon as another episode released, or like a day before or after, I don't know. And that's why it did so good. I actually just rechecked it. It's on 13K. Last time I checked, it was 10K. So that's cool, I guess. But something that I think we should not have done is that we milked the living shit out of it. And there was like also no fucking point in doing that because one, they all got age restricted, and two, they all got copyright striked in its own like fairness. So like I don't know why we repetitively did it. I repetitively did it because I found it fun, which obviously everyone found it fun. It just seemed like we were milking it. I'm not gonna apologize for that actually, but you know, I'm just gonna put that out there. And now I think between those, something did happen in around December. I cannot remember what year. I'm pretty certain 24. A member of ours tries to just outright kill themselves by overdosing. And that was a very scary thing for everyone. Well, more than others, actually. And we could not post for a while because they were the owner. And from that, a few members decided to, I say members, like I don't know these people. I'm just not going to name drop because I don't feel like it's right to do that. But a few members of ours, they decided to open up, I cannot speak today. They make another channel and they call it the BBC Chongos because this one is just called BBC Chongos. And they make their own things. They do their own gaming things instead of just VR. And it is very funny. I do really like it. But the member who tried to, overdose does eventually come back. And we aren't really in the field of the channel when they come back. And we still make videos. I still had some backups ready when they came back. But the videos started coming out at much lower rates. And eventually it has led up to this video. This channel, as much as I really did not want it to be, was sadly a phase of ours. And I'm not ashamed of it, honestly. I'm really proud of this channel's existence and how... Granted, 165 isn't record-breaking, that's the amount that goes to, like, I don't know, a Tom McDonald concert. But it's just... I really like how much we have done for the effort we put in, if that makes sense. Granted, we didn't put in much effort, but I certainly did. Everyone did. But a real problem of mine that I have with the channel is not with anyone, but mainly myself. I am really afraid throughout the 3 years of this channel's existence that I have made everything about me. And I really don't want that. Because I think maybe 2 out of like, I think we have at least 60 videos in total. Maybe. At least 2 out of our 60 videos, I have not been in them. And I really don't like that. I really feel like it should be about a lot more people than just me. Because I really don't want it to seem like it's all about me. This channel has came with no regrets for me. But I can see why it could for others. Relationship-wise between everyone, we're pretty much still solid. We've mainly just switched to just playing regular video games than VR chat anymore because we've done everything imaginable on VR chat. I mean, not VR chat, on VR as a general. Most of the fighting games we play don't get updates unless there's like mods, but no one cares for that. And at least I don't. I know some of my friends still play VR, but I just can't. for the life of me. And we've moved on from things to something like D&D. That's very fun. I've been having very much fun in D&D. And hopefully, something will come out of that. And I'm very happy with how this channel went. But for now, we aren't gonna post. There's nothing to post. We thought about even just posting us just playing regular games like Rivals or something like that, or Minecraft or Fortnite, but it's just not even worth it. I've had the same iPhone 12 since like the beginning of that channel, and considering the state that it's in, which is abysmal, I feel like it's a good representation of stopping. Granted, we have stopped for a while, 8 months, I know, but I'm very sorry. I know no one cares. No one cares because no one's ever really watched us, unless this is the TikTok one, but no one cares, and I don't mind that, because I don't want anything big to come from this. Maybe it'll blow up later, which I also really hope it doesn't, but this is something that is very sincere to me. So sincere that I have to make a video of this. So, goodbye for now. Maybe we'll see each other again, but I really doubt it. So, thank you for watching the BBC Chongos.